Hello everyone, this is Taka from bigheadtaco.com, and I'm coming to you here from Hong Kong, from To Kwa Wan, my home base, and this is my review of the Canon G7X Mark II. Now, I hate that. Ambient noise that's surrounding you. This camera, I'm going to just start off by giving you my conclusion that this is a fantastic camera for vlogging. Alright, I'm in the courtyard. This is day 9, I think, right? And Ryan, you're leaving tomorrow?
I leave tomorrow, yes.
I'm like, just focus myself. You're leaving tomorrow, so this is going to be sort of a close-up of, we're going to be closing up a lot of our videos.
Yep.
Camera here is already rolling, and it's a good way of testing. So after I finish doing this vlog entry, then I'll make sure that's tested. But we're gonna be doing what's in your bag, which I think is interesting because you came along. I mean, last year was Camera Girl, and what's in her bag would have been my bag because it was my camera. But this is your, I mean, you do this for a living, so this is an important part of your tool set.
Yeah.
And so we'll start that and watch the video that shows this. This is just my vlog, so yeah, we'll begin. I'm not a very good vlogger, as you will see. Those that execute it well, props to you. It is definitely, I mean, I've never doubted that it's its own sort of art form and that you can't just pick it up and then start doing it. I find that my nature of just not planning things photographically, it's fine because you're taking little snapshots, but when you're gonna record 20-30 minutes at a time, you know, it has to be cohesive in some way or you're just a great entertainer. For me, I wanted a vlogging camera because I wanted to test vlogging. I tried it last year in Hong Kong with my iPhone and it really was a hassle. And so having the G7X Mark II was great. One of the reasons why I wanted to review Canon was their compacts. I'm not as interested in their big DSLRs. Their mirrorless is coming along. I heard there's rumors of a M5, I think it is. M5, that's actually my favorite BMW too. So the G7X Mark II, it is a great overall camera. My videographer Ryan from Arcade Original, he had his Sony RX100 Mark IV, and we kind of playfully teased each other about, you know, which is better. I know that the RX100 Mark IV has I think even the Mark III has, does it? Just trying to remember now. It has the pop-up EVF, and that's true, you know, it's great to have one, but to be honest, I find that the people that I know that have the RX100 series, they also carry another camera. They also have their main camera, so whatever that may be, either it's a film camera or it is a mirrorless or DSLR. So they use it like a point and shoot. And so the funny thing is, as much as Ryan may have bragged that the RX100 has an EVF, I never saw him use it once. Now I'm gonna use a Canon.
Oh.
There you go. And you have an EVF, I don't.
I'll You know what?
I'm gonna just
Can you just do that?
No, I can't. That's what I'm
Can you
saying.
just do that?
So we have this here. He used it like I did. You just use a articulating screen, and if you're doing a selfie video or you are shooting up at buildings or you're shooting down low like a twin lens reflex or a Hasselblad, he shot it like a point and shoot just like I was doing. So it's great that you have it, but unless it's your main primary camera and you are a type of photographer that shoots with an EVF, I don't see that as the major feature. Now, if it was, then why is this camera considered one of its competitions? And so if you really want an EVF, obviously you either get, and you love Canon, you buy the G7X and perhaps the Mark II is on its way, or you buy the Sony. But I think, pretty much people are reasonably brand loyal. The Canon OS that runs these Powershot is probably the most mature OS on any camera system. It just works, and the touch screen and the how you maneuver, the entire menu system is touch. You can swipe through the menu items, you can pick, it's all touch. Even in record mode, I could switch to different here. So I'm in AF mode. Actually, it locks in AF, but you can even lock onto focus if it's not focusing on just by touching the screen. So this is one of the best implementations of touchscreen that I have ever used myself personally, and I've heard from others as well. And the build quality is really good. The Sony is really good as well, so props to both brands. I mean, these are considered premium compact point and shoots. The 1-inch sensor is bigger than what the old sensors used to be, which is 1/1.7. So the old Canon G series and the S series cameras, the S120 was the last one, was 1/1.7. It's a great sensor. I liked it. My first 1/1.7 was the Panasonic LX3, and at the time it was quite innovative. It was a CMOS sensor. The GR series, the GR D4 was a CCD, so it had a different look. This 1-inch sensor is definitely much larger. I still shoot RAW only because now I've gotten so used to the APS-C platform that even for me, 1-inch, the JPEGs, it just doesn't cut it for me. And so if I was to use the G7X Mark II as my primary camera, which for someone like myself, I wouldn't. But for others, I'm sure, you can definitely get away with it with the zoom range on here and with the ability to shoot RAW and great video and the articulating screen, everything but an EVF. And so if you want to use this as the primary camera, go ahead, it takes great pictures. Comparing it with the G5X, we know that optically it's the exact same lens and it's the same sensor. The firmware is different, and so there are a few upgrades to it, but optically, I'm not really, I might post a few pictures, but really optically and sensor wise, you're gonna get pretty much the same picture quality as the G5X. So really, if you want to see a huge improvement, this camera needs a new lens to be a little bit sharper, and maybe the next generation 1-inch sensor, which comes from Sony. And so, Canon has added their own tweaks, image-wise, in terms of the image engine. I like the look of this Canons over the Sony, but if you're shooting RAW, you can pretty much change it to whatever you want anyway, so that's not really a big deal. Now, in terms of improvements, now maybe I haven't figured it out, which is highly possible, because there's a plethora of different combinations and things that you can use within this camera. But one of the things is I like the ring that surrounds the lens. You can actually make it either clickable or just smooth. And so for those of us that shoot video like I'm using now as a vlogging video, it's great to be able to have the smooth ring without it going click, 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 click. But I wish, okay, so one of the things is, maybe I'm missing something, but I wish that you can use the neutral density filter in this mode. And so you can actually so let's say you set your aperture and you set your shutter speed, so 24 frames per second, and many will say double that frame rate for your proper shutter speed, so it'll be about a 60th of a second shutter speed. And as it goes darker or brighter, instead of changing your shutter speed or aperture, let's just say you set your aperture too, so you're happy at f whatever you want, either you want bokeh or you don't want bokeh, but just to go lighter or darker, it's nice to be able to just spin that ring and quickly go lighter or darker. And so right now I'm turning it and it's in zoom mode, and I don't want to zoom in. I think this is just perfect for my, actually I'm pulling my arm out further now. So that's what I wish they will do. As well, be able to reassign the start and stop. I mean, I'm happy that the G7X Mark II has a dedicated video mode. So the video button that's on the back, when you're not in video, you can reassign it to be something else like ISO or self-timer. But when you're in video mode, that back video start stop button that's all it can be. And that's great, but I wish you can change it to the video start stop in using the shutter button. So, you know, there is a mode where if you're in video, you can still take pictures, but instead if you can turn that feature off and have the shutter button as a start stop, I think that'd be great, because or else you're always kind of, you know, you're doing this, you're doing that to turn the video on and off, and that after a while kind of gets irritating. It's nice to be able to start and stop. Now you may be able to start and stop off screen, but even then you have to be touching the screen all the time, and I would rather not do that. Other things that I think can be improved upon, having the option of an EVF, so shoe mounted EVF for those that, you know, really like the 1-inch sensor, really like the compact size, and want it to be able to shoot with it like a real camera, or, you know, it's a bright light or it's dark and you don't want the screen to be in the way, then having an optional EVF would be great. So overall, I really like my experience shooting the G7X Mark II. The fact that this camera is very hard to get. A lot of places are sold out. Even in Hong Kong, I checked out some stores and some stores don't have it. And they saw me with mine, they're like, oh wow, how did you get it? The fact that it's selling well means that's great. It means the segment is growing, because I know that the Sony RX100 series also sells quite well. And so the segment is growing, and that means there's going to be more competition, which is great. I think competition is good because it forces manufacturers to improve upon what they have. So, you know, without the Samsung Galaxy, the iPhone wouldn't be where it is today, and vice versa. If Samsung, the Galaxy series, had no competition, there'd be no need for them to one-up themselves every time. And so the fact that Canon has joined the 1-inch sensor, moved up from the 1/1.7 into the 1-inch sensor that's made by Sony, but Canon has their own take. So the G5X is actually my favorite because of the EVF, but I can see the advantages of having a articulating up screen, because as a vlogging camera, if the screen pops out from the side, it actually takes up more space. And in a city like Hong Kong, and you want to be as compact and as tight as possible, then it's great to have the articulating up. Although one does have the tendency to look up at the screen instead of looking at the lens here. And so I'm wearing my shades, I'm pulling a Casey Neistat. It's a great way of keeping your eye on your framing without, see, so if I was like this, I wouldn't notice that orange there. So, you know, it keeps you an eye on your framing if you're picky about stuff like that, which you should be, probably. So I highly recommend it. Oh, another thing that this camera can work on is audio. The audio is pretty darn good, but when you have a lot of noise surrounding you, it will be nice to be able to plug in a lav mic, or be able to have some kind of an external way of recording plugging into it. I know you can use a separate external recorder and then sync it later, but that's a lot of work. I think for most vloggers, they just want, I mean, for most of us, I think we all just want to keep things simple and keep things easy. And so Canon, the next iteration of the G7X Mark III, as well as the G5X Mark II, hopefully if you have the implementation of external audio input, that would make a huge difference in this camera. And so thank you Canon Canada for the loan. Many people want to review this camera, so thank you Canon for this extended time on this loan, and I'll see you back in Canada. So thank you so much for watching. Subscribe, like if you like, and we'll see you back at home. Thanks for watching, and happy shooting and video recording.